Today, we want to be looking at looping in Java programming language. Looping simply means the process of carrying out certain segments or parts of a program in a repeated manner until certain conditions are met. By this statement, each time you make use of a loop statement in your program, the loop statement will keep running until certain conditions are established. Java as a high-level language supports several loop statements. Today, I just want to be teaching us about for loop statements. How do we use for loop statements in Java when it comes to performing some segments of a program in a repeated manner? The very first thing you need to know as part of the syntax of Java is how do we write for loop statement in Java. As you can see on the screen, you need to choose an index variable. It can be I, it can be J, it can be K, it can be L, it can be M, it can be N as being globally used by programmers. The next thing is to specify your for loop and then define how that K is going to be at a certain point, how it's going to be at a terminating condition, and what is the increment or decrement time. Then you put your quotes in between. For you to understand this concept fully, I have decided to come up with an example, which I will be able to explain how for loop can be used to write a Java program to display integer values from 70 to 500. You will recall that I talked about SDLC, and it is always mentioned that the first thing is problem definition, and the next is design. In this case, I'm not going to be designing an algorithm. The third one is coding. However, having done a proper definition, you can design how you want to write the code in your head. Look at the question. The question says, we should write a Java program to display. It's not to add, it's not to multiply. So you must be clear with that. We're just displaying on the screen. In that case, if I want to write a Java program, I can write my comments, a Java program to display integers. As part of my problem definition, you need to identify what are the variables that you need to use to handle your values. In this case, because it involves a very large number of values, 70, 71, 72, up to 500, you can make use of an index variable under your definition. What is the index variable that you want to use? In programming, most times programmer prefers using IJKLMN, either in small case or capital case. So you just have to be aware. And also, you define that what you want to do, you just want to display using system.out.print. In this case, you can use println because you want to display so many things. So this is the proper definition of the problem. Identify the index variable that you will use with a for loop that will handle 70 to 500 and find a way to display the results. As we want to be talking about design, we'll be talking about UML diagram, algorithm design, flowcharting, decision tables, and so on. So the next thing is coding. And all you have to do is that after writing the comments, you can write import java.io. I am not accepting any values from the keyboard, so I don't need to make use of utility package. My IO package is sufficient. And then you specify the name of your main class. For this problem, I want to call it integer display. As programmer, you must be creative. I'm using camel caption, integer display. And also, you write your main method, public static void main string args, opening brace or so. And having done that, you declare your index variable, just one variable. I want to use n. Somebody else may use another. This is what we call variable declaration. In Java programming language, any variable you want to make use of, you must declare it, or else you will have syntax error. Having done that, I will now use my for loop for Where am I starting from? For n is equal to 70, semicolon, and where is it going to stop? When n is less than or is equal to 500. How does I want the n to be moving? I want it to be increasing one by one. That is an increment. So after 70, it goes to 71, it goes to 72, and so on. Opening brace for for loop. The question does not ask me to add anything, just to display. So, and the statement for displaying is system.out.println and closing brace for the for loop, closing brace for the method, closing brace for the class. When you look at this program as a beginner, it strengthens you, and all you have to do is to formulate similar problems on your own and practice. And as beginners, even if you write this code in your programming logbook, you'll be expected to have installed a Java compiler whereby you enter your codes into, and you test and test and test, and with time you'll be improving as a beginner in Java programming or any other chosen programming language. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.